Hey guys, Sax here. It's day 2 of Renegades, and I just want to let you guys know where we are with the exotic weapons, catalysts, and intrinsics that can drop from the Pinnacle Ops playlist in the portal. So yesterday, you might have seen my video where I went through and I was testing to get Barrow-Dyad, Slayer's Fang, trying to figure out what has changed. Well, we didn't realize that things were bugged, and you can see here, I am on the known issues page for Bungie. I will link it below because this is a good page that you should know about. If you're having an issue, this is the first place you should always check. It says the exotic mission, Pinnacle Ops are not unlocking their associated exotic weapons, catalysts, and intrinsics for players who have not earned them yet. This issue will be resolved in update 9.5.0.1. Now, we know that this update from the content calendar that Bungie put out a couple weeks ago, we know that this update is coming out next Tuesday. So guys, one more week. Just wait one more week. You can get Barrow-Dyad. If you're having trouble getting other weapons to drop, you can get them with this update. I've been told that there's people who've been able to get like Choir of One, Dead Man's Tale. They've been able to get things for Slayer's Fang, and they didn't have them before. So this could just be affecting the Derealized mission. And this statement here on the known issues page, it could just be something where they're just like blanket statement. Let's just get it out because we're going to fix it all next Tuesday. So I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. So let's talk about the next thing. I want to go in game real quick because there is something that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. Now, last season, I put out my video about just how to get these weapons. It was the ultimate guide to everything you need to know for these exotics. And this is something that a lot of people saw, but I want to make sure, because I know we have a lot of people who've come back to the game. I want to talk about a couple of things that you may need to know, because there's still a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation, people in the comment section saying one thing when unfortunately they're just not informed. They've not put the time and effort in that I have to do that. And to be honest, no rational person really should do that. So I don't blame them one bit. So guys, when you come into the Pinnacle Ops playlist, you're going to see, let's say we were trying to get Vexcalibur. When you select the mission for Vexcalibur, the mode that you want to select is dependent on what your power level is. You can see right here, my character is 550, but whatever reason I'm at 543 on this, based on what my loadout is. However, it takes into consideration your account power, right? So like knowing that I can get up to 550, I can run it there. It has safeguards protecting itself from you like just juicing up certain characters and then going in on other things like that. So you can't really game the system, but you'll see it has a suggestion here, right? So I'm already at a place where I need to do ultimate. But yesterday when I was running on my character that's a little north of 300, I was kind of in this weird place between master and grandmaster. Grandmaster was too far away. So what I had to do yesterday was go into the master difficulty, and then I had to juice it up with these negative modifiers. I had to do like locked loadouts, things like that, so that I could have an A rank suggested. Now, if you guys have watched my content for some time, you would know that I have suggested getting a high B+ rank because there's a few things that can push you into the A rank. And so I always suggest the high B+. Typically, I'll suggest that high B+ because it's easier for new and returning players to be able to do that. However, here's the reason that that's harder right now, and you may want to make sure that you have an A rank showing on your screen when you go into this. So the reasons for that, first thing is going to be that we are early in the season. And I'm assuming that most players, especially players who are needing help with getting these exotic weapons to the point where they're watching a video, right? They're not going to be fully ranked up through their season pass already. And so the reason I say that, you can see down here at the bottom, we have a percentage score bonus. And you can see right now it says 0% on my screen. The reason for that is because I have not reached rank 9 yet. You'll see these same indicators, this like red up arrow looking indicator that is here on rank 9. And then every 20 ranks after that. So we have 9, 29 again, 49, 69, nice. And then 89, that is the final one. You don't have any more that come after that. Those all provide a plus 3% to your score bonus for a total of 15%. Guys, that is a huge bump. You don't realize, but that additional 15%, that can really, really alleviate some of the stress you're feeling. And so that's why to get your projection high enough early in the season, it's going to be more difficult. It's going to feel harder. Not only that, but you're not, we're not exploring, we're not super familiar with everything when it comes to the artifact. You're not, you know, presumably if you're not higher up in those season pass ranks, you're not going to be higher up in the artifact ranks. So both of those kind of play together. Your builds are not going to be completely fleshed out. You're not going to be pushing up. So remember, you do get new gear like damage resistances. You get bonus weapons by using new gear. I would suggest, if you have the ability to, make sure you're using new gear, and then make sure when you're setting up your new activity, make sure you're going in here and then customize, go down to this second line here, and then for your all equipment loadout, make sure that you turn on avant-garde. That's an easy way to kind of make sure you're getting the bonus and you're using new stuff. Remember, you can use any exotic armor piece, any exotic weapon as new gear as well. Now they removed the featured gear portion of it. So that's the first thing that's going to give you trouble. The next thing that I would say is just remember that when you're doing new missions for the first time, especially like if you weren't around when Derealize was back in episode Heresy, they can be kind of brutal. Now, I was running yesterday. I'm familiar with a Derealize mission. I knew what to do. But man, we're talking about the Dire Taken, which have stasis and strand abilities. We're talking about there's all sorts of retaliation that comes out of it. Going into Kelsfall, and then you have new, you know, the unstoppable abominations in there that can send out their nasty little like worm husk things continuously attacking you. I found that as a player who's played over 10,000 hours of this game on a lesser than account yesterday, my alt account was not juiced up on. I was on a subclass that I'm not super familiar with. I found it difficult. So don't get disappointed. Don't be frustrated if that's where you're at. However, what I will say is that by showing the projection yesterday for a Kelsfall mission, I had it set up on I think I was on master difficulty because, like I said, that account's at around 300-ish. When I pushed all the way up to show my projected score to show an A rank, I was in there for a very long time because I was being a little stubborn. I was by myself solo in the activity. And even when I did that, I ended up having someone join me from chat. They came and joined me, and I was able to get it done. But I was in there for about 45 minutes, which is way longer than I usually would. I still got an intrinsic. So I say all this to say, set your projected score up for an A. You should be okay without the time bonus. You should be okay without the season pass bonuses at 9 and then all the 20s above that. But if you run into issues early in the season, it may be something where you want to circle back to it. Again, we know that we have about a week before Bungie fixes the problem. So guys, grind up those levels, get those things together, get together with a fire team who knows what they're doing in the mission, and that's going to make your life so much easier. So guys, I hope that was helpful for you. Stay locked here to the channel. I'm trying to take the approach of being super helpful, super direct with you guys to get you guys the information as fast as possible. Until next time, be blessed, y'all.